Okay. I'm just going to Hey guys, I'm so sorry for this. I hope it doesn't break again now. I had to switch devices actually. So I'm on my
Clear
mobile
now.
now.
Good.
It should be
Okay.
better. It's better.
Yes.
It's better, right? Great. Okay, so let's just delve right into it. It's going to be two parts. Because my background is physical therapy, I'm going to be talking more about physical activity and exercises. And of course, Askdamz will be taking the dietary and the nutritional aspects basically. So first, what we're going to be doing is why we're going to try to answer the question. We're staying home and we can't get access to a gym, but we need to stay fit. Why? Why should we bother? I think that's the question that we're going to try to answer, both of us. We're going to try to answer that first phase of questions regarding why we need to keep fit. And then with the second phase, we're going to be dropping real strategies and tips to keep fit at home. And then we're going to be looking at nutritional aspect and physical activity as well. And just to make us understand, whenever we're talking about fitness, we always have to look at two broad categories. We have to look at the nutritional aspect, which is all the food that you take in, everything that you drink, eat, whatever that is getting into your body. That's going to be summed up under the nutritional aspect. And of course, when we talk about the exercise, the other parts, which is exercise, we're going to be talking about physical activity, which includes everything that you do from sleeping, sitting, standing, and all that. So, of course, like I said, we're going to be
There's a
taking
third part, very important part. Let's not miss it.
lifestyle modification.
Mental health. You've talked about physical health. Now, mental health is one part that is very, very important, and it still goes hand in hand with you because you need to be in a particular mental space to decide that you want to eat properly and even decide to move. So mental health, let's take that part too. All right.
Exactly. And sometimes just to tell you, I've actually had like real situations where we were working with someone, with their fitness goals. They weren't getting anything until we brought in a clinical psychologist, and you just know that everything happens right in their head. So we have like the psychosocial part, which is a very huge part now that we're stuck in our homes. So our social interaction is completely cut off. So we cannot undermine that part, definitely. And of course, we have a minute part which also has to do with lifestyle modification. Lifestyle modification would be, are you binge eating? Are you drinking? Are you abusing alcohol? Are you abusing drugs? And all of that. So, Askdamz, please take the floor and keep it going.
Okay, so you want me to talk about the importance of staying physically active first of all. Yeah.
Yes. Should I start, or would you want to
I can
start?
start and then you can take over since you're more. I mean, you're more of the expert when it comes to exercise than I am. In fact,
you are the guru.
No,
you are the guru.
Weight loss in particular, when it comes to eating, and exercise, like For example, some people, they call some sort of exercise, oh, kick butterfly, this one. I'm like, which one is kick butterfly again? Do you get what I mean? Because that's not my specialty.
No.
But I try to make sure that I'm active and I don't encourage a sedentary lifestyle at all. Now, let me tell you one of the best things that this season has done for me. Because I used to be pre-COVID, I used to be one of those people that would say, I'm literally forever busy. Like even in my sleep, I'm working. That's how bad it was. Like I'm always doing one thing or the other. So for me, I would always give an excuse, one reason or the other, as to why I cannot exercise or even go for a walk. You know, it just became one excuse after the other. Before I knew it, like pre-COVID, I'm telling you, before I did any physical activity before COVID, was about 3 months before COVID came around. Because I just was like, I'm busy. But hey, when I sat down at home, I had to go back to the drawing board and think about my mental health, not even weight loss, because truth of the matter, you can lose weight without being physically active.
Exactly.
Sorry, my light just went off. You can lose weight without being physically active. That's the truth of the matter. However, I thought to myself, apart from, you know, being at home and working, what can I do? And I know how to eat for my general health, also eat for my mental health, physical health, and all of that stuff. I thought to myself, what can I do? And then I remembered all my preaching. You know, when I say practice what you preach, I've always known that, you know, your body needs to release happy hormones. I did a video on this the other day: dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphins in general. And I thought to myself, okay, what am I going to do to make myself happy? And I have a long list of nutrition as part of it. And I thought to myself, one of the things that's going to increase happy hormones in my body, because I need a lot of it. Everybody needs a lot of it in this season. Otherwise, you're going to be anxious, scared, depressed, because you don't know what tomorrow holds, basically. So what I did was that I thought to myself, what am I going to do to increase my happy hormones? I'm generally a happy person, and I don't like anything that's going to steal my joy. I move away from it, basically. So what did I do? I started taking walks, brisk walks, minimum of 5 to 6 days a week. 30 minutes minimum to 1 hour is what I started doing. I started sweating it out. And I'm telling you, in the first week, because I came back I was doing a lot of traveling last year, and up until the 15th of March is when I got back from Lagos. I was touring everywhere, you name it, from Thailand to Portugal to Cyprus to London, America. Like I was literally everywhere. So when I came back on the 15th of March, I deliberately went into self-isolation without the Nigerian government telling me what to do. So I was already at home for 2 weeks before they mentioned lockdown. So when they mentioned lockdown, for me, I was just like, wow, like I put myself under lockdown already. Wow. Yeah, you know, I got invited to speak at different events, paid events, by the way, and I turned everything down. There's nothing they didn't say. They tried to convince me to show up, and I'm like, I like money. I love money. I need money to be able to travel and live the kind of lifestyle I want to live. But if I'm going to save other people's lives by sitting at home, let me sit at home. By the way, I didn't test positive for coronavirus. I didn't have any symptoms, but I used my own initiative to sit down at home. So for me, when they announced the lockdown, I kind of like became anxious. You know, I'm like, oh my God, I've already put myself under imprisonment for 2 weeks. I'm now going to be at home for another 2 weeks. I didn't even know that they were going to extend it by another 2 weeks again. So I thought to myself, what am I going to do to make myself happy? And I started, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to focus on releasing these feel-good hormones. I need to release these hormones, you know, no matter what, good or bad day, you know, good day, bad day, whether the numbers of coronavirus patients are increasing, whatever is happening around me, I need to keep my mental health in check. I'm not even working out for weight loss currently because I've even lost some weight. So I'm even asking myself, why I've lost some weight? Look at me, I've lost some weight. I actually lost more weight. I lost some weight. I'm actually eating. I'm eating rice. I'm a Christian, so I wouldn't lie. I'm eating rice. I'm eating bread. I'm eating my fruits and veg. I'm eating all classes of food. But I'm staying physically active to keep my mental health in check. I need to keep my mental health in check. I need to produce those feel good hormones. So whatever I do, I make sure I'm active every day, every single day. So over to you, JB.
I think I have to. I have to point out two things that you said. So, because I know a lot of your followers are here, they're doing, yeah, Askdamz for president. So,
My mom is here.
so
I
we
can
have
see
to
my
take
mom.
two things.
My mom is here. Shout out to you, mommy. You're the best.
Shout out to Askdamz mom. Welcome, Ma. Thank you for joining us. Okay, so two things that we have to not gloss over. We have to pay attention to that, she kept going on and on about it. The first thing is that you don't need to exercise for weight loss. I mean, come on. The Askdamz brand has been achieving weight loss even without exercise. So that should already tell you something.
Sorry to cut you short. People who have, let's even say malaria, for example. Let's say you have acute malaria, God forbid, yeah? And you're being admitted in the hospital for about 4 days, 5 days. By the time you step on this, by the time you get home, because of loss of appetite, you've lost weight because you were in a calorie deficit. It's not rocket science. You get what I mean? But if you want to lose weight the healthy way, then you combine everything. But let me move on. I'm a talker, so cut me short, please.
Okay. Apart from the second thing that she also mentioned was mental. She just kept going on about mental health. Now, she started talking about those hormones, which we are not going to bore you with. Endorphins are actually stress hormones. So this period, you're going to be stressed. You read 3 new cases. You just be like, hey, Bamio. In fact, the hospital where I work, we have increased cases of hypertension and even stroke this period.
This period. People are landing in hospitals for HBP. Before Corona even catches you, you already have high blood pressure.
Yeah, you're already down with something that shouldn't kill you. So if the experts say that you should take a little bit of a walk, and ease yourself into these exercise routines, then why not? I mean, if you have time, I did a video recently which was posted on the Fitsplurge page. I said, if you have time for TV, like when I did it, if not that I overlaid the music on it, you would have seen I was gisting with my family, gisting with my nephew, but I was having my session. You can do it. Sometimes I'm like in my room. I'm not coming out till like 11. I can do my exercise on my bed, right on my bed. And what happens is, especially when I'm going to have like very long days or stressful days at work, I realize that if I wake up early and sweat, do some exercise routines, and then jump into the shower, I won't even need to have my bath with warm water, which is not also very good for your skin, which is not also very good. So I realized that no matter how much I slept under I left the AC on and I'm shivering like by morning, by the time I get up and just jog or skip or do something for 10 minutes, I'm sweating. And then I enter the shower and I feel good. Like I have the energy. Sometimes I'm like a fireball. Like I enter work, I'm like, oh, come on. Everybody's like, okay, what happened today? Like, so when I realized that those hormones are actually called happy hormones, I was like, okay, that explains it. Because I am always exercising, so it just gives you something to look up to. And it's a tiny line. When you just slip into that point where you start feeling down and then it goes all the way to clinical depression, you can't go back because it's like a downward slope. You can't go back. So if a little bit of exercise can help you stay healthy, why not? Really, why not? So we've tackled mental health. We've talked about, of course, whether or not we are going to state it. It's still a stated fact that if you're lazing around, your metabolism is going to slow down, and that means that you're going to be retaining more weight, and that means that your basal metabolic rate is even going to slow down as well. So even when you should be losing weight while you're sleeping, do you know, like you could sleep and still be losing weight depending on how much you've built your metabolic levels. So apart from the fact that exercise can help you lose weight, exercise can build up your mental health. It can also help with your emotional health. We're going to be talking about another aspect that is very important now. Your immune system. Exercise can help to boost your immune levels, especially now? Well, of course, coronavirus is a novel virus, so there's been a lot of research going on. So nobody has exactly said, oh, I was sick with coronavirus and I went to the gym and I was exercising every day without taking drugs and I was okay. So please don't quote me. I only said that exercise exercise can help to boost the I don't want somebody to go and write exercise can help you fight coronavirus. I beg. My license, I beg my license at stake. So yes, of course, I trust our Yubo people. They're always very what's it called now, inquisitive. So I'm sure there will be somebody who will say, I have coronavirus, I'm not going to take any drugs, but I'm going to do, let's say, 30 minutes of aerobic walking every day and see if I'm going to. So yes,
not doing any exercise because it attacks the lungs. So by the time you're out of breath, you will not even be able to do any form of exercise. So that your disclaimer is invalid.
So we are still waiting for those reports. There's been no research out on that yet. There's been no report out, no case study, nothing. But from previous studies, we already know, and it has been established that exercise can help to boost the immune levels, which is why exercise is now recommended for HIV patients, for instance. It does help to boost their immune system and kind of help with their viral load. So yes, when it comes to research for exercise being recommended for people with immune suppressed conditions, yes, autoimmune conditions and all that, it has already been established. But for coronavirus, like I said, is a novel virus, so there's still a lot of research. But of course, we still have to understand that exercise will help us to build our immune system. Okay, so I feel like I've been talking too much.
You're not talking too much. You're actually making perfect sense. It's not rocket science that exercise would help you boost your immunity. And let me explain how exercise will help you boost your immunity. Now, the stress actually depresses your immune system. So the more stressed out you are, the harder it is for your body to fight off diseases. So if exercise is going to de-stress you and make your body produce happy hormones, that means that in turn, your stress load is lower, which means that your body is able to fight off infections because you're not as stressed as Mr. or Mrs. A or B. So it's not that, oh,
Askdamz, I feel like I should be.
Pardon?
I said I feel like I should be doing this every time with you. Like you're making this very easy. Come on, just go ahead. Go ahead.
My partner drives me, sorry. So yeah. So back to immunity. Are we still talking immunity and exercise? So it's very important anyway. And thank God my mother is on this live video.
Yes.
Dear mommy, not to you. I do not call any page handle. Not to my mom. Take at least 50 minutes up and down your staircase every day to boost your happy hormones. Not to everybody on this live video who is saying, Yoruba, that means I can't come and go and die. And just say, well, let me just relax and just watch TV. Watch TV, relax, please, by all means. I do a lot of that. That's why I'm doing marathon videos today, because I don't want anything to interrupt my sleep tomorrow. So I'm doing marathon live videos. I know that tomorrow, okay, I have a video tomorrow actually. But when I'm done with my video tomorrow, I just want to chill and relax. I don't want anything to interrupt my weekend, my stress levels, my rest, nothing. This is a period to actually really try to rest, because resting and distressing would actually boost your immunity. So yes, it goes along with
it. Let's just take this. Somebody says exercise regarding coronavirus is not technically about boosting immunity. It's more about improving the capacity and flexibility of your lungs and heart muscles. Let me just chip in. Let me chip in on that. When it comes to exercise, you have to understand that we have different types of exercises. So when we say exercise, it's just an umbrella term for different categories of activities. Now, when we talk about exercise, for example, that would be for a COVID patient, it would mean that you're thinking about that person on a bed. Probably the doctor has declared the patient should be on bed rest, and also the patient would be having respiratory deficits. So that means that when you go and ask the person to start skipping, for instance, you will be exacerbating those respiratory dysfunction. So what kind of exercises would be recommended in that case? For example, we can talk about deep breathing exercises. I don't know if you know this, but deep breathing exercises are going to be done, especially like in positions that the patient can relax.
I have a thought on
In
this.
lying position, yeah, in lying position, in sitting position, so that the patient is not exacerbated at that point. So what the person is doing, the person is breathing deep and exhaling to help with chest expansion to improve respiration. That wouldn't be a time where you would start recommending for the person to start going through aerobic, serious, rigorous aerobic activities. I think we needed to clear that. But we were still talking about exercise and immunity. So I guess sorry, Askdamz, sorry for I just
No,
needed to quickly address that.
I like
Sorry.
it's supposed to be interactive. I'm not supposed to be talking about myself. So yeah, go on.
Oh,
Making
okay.
perfect sense. Thank
Okay.
you.
Yeah, so talking about exercise and the immune system, when Askdamz mentioned that exercise, of course, with the word stress, exercise will help you manage stress. I also have to mention that when you overwork yourself and you start to become stressed with exercise, you are also gradually turning the cycle back to predisposing yourself to you're compromising your immune levels. So what that means is that you could actually be overworking yourself. No offense to people that are like gym sharks, um, gym rats, and like they're always exercising round the clock. But for instance, the World Health Organization has given like a guideline how many minutes of exercise should be ideal, should actually bring health benefits. So can exercise be abused? Yes. And what are the complications when you start to abuse exercise? For instance, talking about exercise improving your immune system, it will start to work against. So when you start to exercise and your muscles are getting really sore and you're lying on your bed and you're feeling aches all over and you can't even get out of bed, at that point, you're overworking yourself and you should be taking things slow. Getting up and trying to push more routines in will not be working in your favor at that point. Instead, what you can do could be to do what we call relaxing exercises. You can see this like in yoga.
Yeah.
You have yoga.
Yeah.
Yes. So yoga will help you, or like basically stretching exercises. So you just take it slow and stretch the muscles that are feeling sore and feeling painful and feeling tight. So that way you're not stressing yourself and overworking yourself. Okay. So we've talked about immunity, we've talked about mental health, we've talked about social, emotional, psychosocial. Okay, so we are going to be delving right into some of the challenges that you'll be having now. Of course, we are talking about keeping fit at home, and most importantly, apart from just talking about the benefits of keeping fit generally, we have to bring it down to keeping fit now that you're stuck at home. What can you do? Yes, Askdamz has already started to talk about being able to walk around your homes, but of course, we also have to understand that there are people who don't have that luxury. They're probably stuck in a one-bedroom, they're stuck in very little spaces, or they're even stuck in apartments where they have to stay upstairs, which just reminded me of my story. There was a time when I lived upstairs, like I was like, I need to calm down, because every time I do, even if it's just lying down and doing small push-ups, my neighbor will start, hello, hello, hello. I'm like, white people, they don't even want to hear a black person making any sound, because
walls are very thin. Especially, let me guess, did you used to live in England or something? Because walls are very thin. If you say something here, the next door can literally hear you.
Yes. Yes. Okay, so yes, so if you're if you're like in spaces, small spaces, there are exercises that you can do. For example, you could do jogging on a spot. Jogging on a spot. I'm going to talk to our technical manager. I'm going to talk to with the communications guy. We're going to try to see how we can put some exercises up, especially this period. So you can jog on a spot. You don't need to jog round. You can just stay on a spot. You're not moving. You're just jogging, but you're on a spot. You could use a skipping rope, right?
Yes.
And you could even do some floor exercises. So that would be also really helpful. You can even do some things on your bed. And like I said, you can even do some things on your couch. Like I had that inspiration to do something on my couch, which the video that I posted now. So yes, there's so many things that you can do, but it's all about you being creative.
Yeah.
Being creative, walking,
you have to
jogging,
work with what you have,
skipping.
basically. So this is not a time to
Work with what you
this is not a time to try to be like anybody else. It's a time to be authentically you. You know, there's something I always say. I'm sure I'm starting to sound like a broken record, but comparison is a thief of joy. And don't get into a workout routine randomly. You know, first rule number one, know yourself. Somebody just mentioned jumping jacks. If you're a size 20, 22, 24, you're already carrying a lot of weight. You need to start off small and then dream big, because if you start doing jumping jacks randomly and you are big, you're going to affect you may damage your knees in the long run, or you may damage your muscle in the long run that you may never really be able to repair. So let's learn to take it easy. If you are starting off with any form of workout routine, start off small. Don't overdo it. And I'm not one of those that believes in, some people will say, oh, you work out even if you feel like you're about to die, keep going. Hello, if I feel like I'm about to die during a workout routine, I stop with immediate effect. Like if I feel like it's one thing to sweat, another thing to feel like you're feeling lightheaded and you want to pass out. No, don't let it get to that level. Don't be fit like anybody else. Be fit like you. Just try your best. And the more you do it, the more your capacity to do more will increase. So start off small and dream big. Someone like me, you cannot catch me doing burpees. Let there be 1 billion people doing burpees in front of me. I'm not cut out for it, and there's no shame in my game. But guess what? I'm still being fit. I'm still being healthy because I'm doing my brisk walks. I'm doing my dance routines. I have some weights. Sometimes I do some squats and lunges when I have time. But most importantly, I'm just trying to be the healthiest version of me. The healthiest version that I can be, authentically me. Thank you so much. Somebody says, listen to your body. Listen to
That's
your body.
just it. And most importantly, I think we have to stress this. Especially World Health Organization actually put up a post and was like, stay active this period, and then one of the options was go and get online fitness videos. I'm just going to say really, like, I think this is not the time that you really, really should be trying like those rigorous, like I know, like I've seen some videos where I'm like, even me, I like to feel like I'm a regular when it comes to, fitness and stuff. But no, there's some I'm like, I'm about to break my back. If I try that, like now that the hospitals are closed, what's going to happen? So like Askdamz said, this is really not the time for you to try stuff. Like, if it's about fitness, always aim for progress. Yeah. So today you walked for 5 minutes. Tomorrow you're walking for 10 minutes. Please, my darling, go and clap for yourself. You're doing well. And let's also mention that as beginners, you need to start slow. So please be careful with joining, all these online videos where they're like, come on, let's go. You can do it 50 and you break down in your home. And all the medical professionals are very busy with handling COVID cases now. So listen, you really just have to be very smart about it. So Askdamz, can we take a little bit about dietary? What are the challenges in terms of dietary, nutritional challenges that they may be having now that could be like affecting their fitness levels, perhaps?
So fitness or immunity? Is that what are we going into immunity?
I think
generally fit. Okay. First of all, it's not the time to do crash diet, by the way. This is a time for, and I'll keep hammering on this, it's the time to be authentically you and work with what you have. And this is why I also came up with the Askdamz stay at home plan, where I literally ask, what is in your house, so that we can work with it. And whilst I ask you what is in your house, I don't want to also hear that, oh, it's only cake and bread I have, so it's cake and bread I'm eating from morning to night. Because we all know that a lot of processed or refined food is actually going to suppress your immunity. So what we need to be thinking of at this point in time is, are you getting enough of your macro and micronutrients, especially your micronutrients like vitamin C? I'll tell you something that I did, because I can be very lazy when it comes to taking like anything that has to do with using medication outside food, outside supplementing via food. It becomes a chore for me. So I'll tell you something that I recently discovered, and I'm not trying to market it anyway, but I'll tell you what I do. I increase the amount of vitamin C that I'm getting. I also found out between 2019 and 2020, one of my best discoveries is liposomal vitamin C, actually. So as opposed to regular vitamin C that goes through your bloodstream, your body excretes it every 24 hours. Liposomal vitamin C actually stays in your bloodstream. Yes, it does. So this is my own liposomal vitamin C. I mix it with water and I get my vitamin C levels up. Having said that, if you don't have liposomal vitamin C, as somebody said, you can still do well on. There's pineapple, there's pawpaw, there's mango, there's guavas. If you live abroad, there's strawberries, there's blueberries, there's pomegranates. Africa, we're blessed. We have moringa, there's lemongrass. If at all you don't have fresh fruits or fresh vegetables, this is the time to supplement with dried powders, your dried vegetable powders. It could be dried out moringa. If you're abroad, there's chlorella, there's spirulina. So it's always a different strokes for different folks affair. So make sure that you're eating according to your pockets and what is available. Try your very, very best to try to get in your vitamin C. Try your best at this point in time in lockdown season to protect your physical health and your mental health. Make sure that you're getting vitamin D. If you need to use a vitamin D supplement, please, by all means, do so. You know, vitamin D is a vitamin that we don't talk about, we underestimate. Meanwhile, the average Black person is deficient in vitamin D. And it doesn't help that we're constantly using sunscreen all the time. I'm not saying don't use your sunscreen, but however, because we're people of color, the higher the melanin that you have, the less easy it is for your body to absorb the sunshine vitamin D. We should be getting it from the sun. Actually, there are two types of vitamin D. There's vitamin D2, which is plant-based, and there's vitamin D3, which is we get from the sun and we can get from certain animal products. So there are two types of vitamin D. Now we need to make sure we're getting enough vitamin D in this season. So for some of you, it could be sitting outside in the sun for about 10-15 minutes. For other people, if you feel like you're not getting enough, or you want to protect your skin because you really shouldn't be in the sun for too long, then you can use a supplement. I have a vitamin D supplement. And the good thing about vitamin D is that it's a fat-soluble vitamin, which means that your body is able to store it. So if you don't need to keep using it every single day. So if you're like me, that you forget things easily, you can get, I have a very high vitamin D. I'll actually show mine. Where's mine? Just a second. Okay, well, let me not distract the live video. But I have a vitamin D supplement. You can get vitamin D from mushrooms, from egg yolks, fatty fish like salmon, titus, mackerel. But however, even with food sources, we are never really getting enough. That's the truth of the matter. So you either get it from the sun or try to supplement as best as you can. Cod liver oil, good for you. But make sure you're getting vitamin D to improve your immunity. So I've mentioned vitamin C, I've mentioned vitamin D. Also, to keep your energy levels up, it's not a time to start crash dieting. It's not a time to cut out any major food groups. It's not a time to say, oh, I'm going to go off carbs. You're putting so much mental load on your brain. It's bad enough that you're in lockdown and you're at home. Then you don't have to tell yourself, oh, I'm not going to eat white rice. I'm not going to eat yam. I'm not going to, but which all these things are actually not unhealthy. They're actually healthy. You know, it's the refined and the processed foods that are bad for you. So make sure you're getting your good sources of carbohydrates. Make sure you're getting your good sources of proteins. Make sure that you are including healthy fats into your diet. Very, very important. There are good fats and there are bad fats. Make sure you're including healthy fats in your diet. Also, vitamin E is a vitamin that is highly underestimated, you know, and a lot of us a lot of us are not aware when we try to eat vitamin D or vitamin E that they are fat soluble vitamins. So that means that we need fat for our body to absorb it properly. You know, so a lot of us we're supplementing the wrong way. So some of us will say, oh, I'm just doing maybe I'm just eating my vegetables, you know, but I'm just eating my mushrooms to get my vitamin D. But in order for you to get the best out of the mushroom, to get the best out of your vitamin D, it's best for you to eat it with some sort of healthy fat. And also for your body also needs calcium for strong bones and strong teeth and energy production and all of that. In order for your body to absorb calcium as best as possible, you need vitamin D. Back to vitamin D. You need vitamin E. So this is the time for us to start making sure. And I'm very happy about this COVID season. I'm not happy about what is happening to people around the world or the death rate, but I'm happy that
it's really helped.
It's a wake-up call, yes. And if you notice, people who are the Yoruba side of me wanted to come out, H factor, God forbid. Okay, so people who are health enthusiasts or wellness enthusiasts, if you notice, there was really no panic in the wellness and fitness community. If you notice, people who are in the wellness and fitness community, they are still going on. There's that drive because they know that, look, prior to COVID, they've been trying their best to live a healthy lifestyle. And so, to a certain extent, I'm not saying that those who catch COVID are not healthy. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is that to a certain extent, it was so obvious that wellness and fitness enthusiasts, they were like carrying their shoulder pad, like, I'll be eating well, so, you know, it's going to be very hard for this disease to penetrate. Honestly, and I won't lie to you, I'm part of that community as well. So in the beginning, I thought to myself, God forbid it happens to me. Father Lord, it will not happen to me because it can happen to anyone. No,
it will not.
Whether you are fit or not, it can happen to you. But I thought to myself initially that, you know what, God, thank you that, you know, from day one, I'm conscious about what I eat. So it gives you some sort of confidence generally. So going forward, post-COVID, because COVID is going to end, coronavirus will end, just the way Spanish flu ended, just the way SARS came and went. By the way, coronavirus is not really new, but this strain is a new strain of coronavirus. There has been coronavirus,
COVID-19,
but this is a new strain, yes, and that's why they called it COVID-19. So there's nothing new under the sun. But people who are saying the world is going to end, as opposed to panic, you know, the world is going to end. And no, practice your social distancing, practice your hygiene. Make sure that you're eating right, so you're getting all classes of your macro and micronutrients, your carbohydrates, proteins, fats, vitamin A, B, C, D, E, iron, chromium, selenium, all those vitamins I used to ignore before and you don't used to pay attention to, that can help you even with anxiety. Vitamin B6, so essential to you. These things that we're ignoring. Magnesium. You suffer from anxiety and you don't want to include magnesium foods that are high in magnesium in your diet. You have high blood pressure issues and you're ignoring the role that vitamin E can play in your diet and your mental health and preventing further damage to your heart. Come on, it's a wake-up call for all of us. You know, let's eat healthy. Let's eat healthy. We have a whole lot of work to do. Let's eat healthy. It's a wake-up call.
Yes, indeed. Indeed. And do you know the interesting part of this whole thing? It made, I think I was talking to a patient, sorry, I keep bringing my hospital, like, but yeah. So I was talking to a patient and and the patient was like, do you know, I've been thinking about how I'm going to get my fresh vegetables in. Is it possible? How fast can I quickly plant something in my backyard? And I'm like, oh, okay. Wake up call.
Wake up call. Wake up. For real. Wake up.
Yeah. So, like, yeah, we had to start thinking about ways that, okay, good thing is at least you're still able to go out and buy edibles. You're still able to get food deliveries. You're still able to find a way around getting food supplies. But this has really like a real light bulb moment for some people to actually think about sustainable ways to make sure that they can eat healthily like on a long-term basis. So, and I'm sure that once all of this is over, people are going to
Yes.
re-strategize, and people are going to wake up and start thinking of, you know
Yeah.
what? Okay, if I can't have spinach at my backyard, can I have pumpkin leaves? Can I have ugu at my backyard?
Mm.
Can I have scent leaves at my
Yeah.
backyard? You
Yeah.
know, so I'm happy with all of that, and I'm happy with the whole way things are just turning to healthy living. It's okay. I mean, if that's the peck of corona, there's nothing good about coronavirus.
A lot
But
of good things
if
have
that's
come out
the
of this
good,
season. I tell you, a lot of good things have come out of
yeah,
this season. Habits are changing.
yeah,
Even for me, it's so
yeah.
humbling because I spend my
We're going to also be having, I'm going to try to make sure that I make videos and then send them so that we can have sessions where like we have like little clips of exercises that you can pretty much do on your bed. So please, you want to follow us and try to keep in touch and look out for those. And also Askdamz mentioned that she has a meal. Askdamz, please, do you want to talk about that stay at
We have
home
our personalized
plan?
plans ongoing. We have 30% off going off our personalized plan. And we also have the stay at home plan, which we ask, what is in your house? What do you have in your house? So we do the plan according to what is in your house, what is available. We're not going to tell you, oh, go and look for chlorella or wheatgrass when we know that is not
Yeah,
products we keep, but we are
cauliflower.
blessed exactly. You don't
Cauliflower
need
is actually
cauliflower to boost
easy.
immunity. If you have it, all well and good. But you don't need imported food to live a healthy lifestyle. Eat local. Eat local. Eating
Yes,
healthy is not expensive. It's
you
eating
can.
imported food that is
Yeah,
expensive. So eat according to your pocket also. Yeah, that's what I have
yeah.
for today. And thank you so much for having me.
Okay, so
Really.
thank you so much for coming around. And I also have to mention that we have a free virtual community, fitness community, where we talk about fitness and all that. So it's on Telegram if you would like that. I'm going to find a way to make sure that that is being posted. I know that we have a Telegram group where we post daily exercises and just motivate each other, because it's not easy to wake up, especially in these times where you're feeling down and what you're thinking about is exercise. No, you need some kind of motivation, and also find an accountability partner. Askdamz, you can be your mom's accountability partner.
Yes.
Mommy, have you
She's
climbed
still
the
here.
stairs
She's still here. She
today?
was laughing when I
So,
made the comment. She was laughing. My mom is she's like my best. So she's the one who loves me the most in this world after my husband. So she understands what I
oh,
mean. No
okay.
shade, mommy. Love you.
Okay, yeah. So, it's been a great time with
Yeah.
Askdamz. It was good that I think we had a really great audience. They got everything. Like once we dropped the technical term, they just get it. They didn't ask us any questions. I've not seen any questions. We've been waiting for questions. No questions, guys. You had Askdamz here for 1 hour, and she's been saying, "Give me questions, no questions." Okay, oh, she's about to. I know she has a really full day today, so I think we should let Askdamz go. It was really nice having you and everyone that joined us. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. I'm gonna yeah, and feel free to come ask questions. You can send questions to Fitsplurge privately if you have any questions. We don't mind. That's what we do all day, every day, trying to make sure that you're easing into that fit life as easily as possible. Yes, thank you so much, and bye, guys. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
What? 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 Why is it ending?